and welcome to this week's episode of By Shadows Light Shadows. Well, I can't remember. Name's not important. We're here to play. Don't judge me. The panel's still missing. I forgot to put it in.
It's still lost.
I know. I forgot. All right. Well, here we are once again, ready to rock and roll. A critical question was asked of the Sajetti prisoner in last week's episode. What is the answer? We will find out in a little bit. To recap, Nova was in the medical facility with the Sajetti prisoner, Captain Zero, who was wounded when supposedly a saboteur attacked him and his aide, and he was able to eventually defeat that saboteur. Yellow is playing a slap drinking game with the Dwarveshian, not prisoners, survivors. That's what I'm looking for. And I believe is winning, although there will be a call to competition shortly as a gauntlet was thrown, and the Dwarveshians are not one to give up lightly.
Thanks, Captain.
Rika,
Plenty of physical points to spend.
yeah, Rika is watching what Nova is doing and has started to look for a tranquilizer dart. Whilst asking a very pertinent question to the Sajetti survivor, whilst the captain had just left the slapping competition. And we'll pick up with you, Captain. What are you doing whilst the rest of your crew are embroiled in this chaos, whilst your ship sits in the middle of space, in the middle of nowhere?
Come on, my stress levels are super high, and you start with him? Okay, sure.
Well, I just learned that the Dwarveshian want to go back, and they pressed us to return to the space sector where the combat took place. They want to return to battle. I also learned that first of all, I'm still troubled that the Sajetti gets slaughtered and there's just one survivor, which I feel a little bit, I'm not trusting him fully. I get the feeling that something is shady with him. And my crew is all over the place. Yeah. Probably that's why I don't trust him. So my crew is all over the place right now. So the thing I would do is I would call on comms and I would say, as soon as everyone is ready, please meet me in the in the conference room. I think it's time to make a decision here what we want to do.
All right, that pipes over as Rika looks at the Sajetti captain. The captain looks as if he's about to respond. All right, you great big hairy man, you, says the Dwarveshian corporal to you.
Right here, right on the kisser. Oh, hang on. Oh, duty calls.
That's not fair. It means
2 or 3 slaps when I get back. I know the rules. I made the game. You win every time.
They're too drunk to realize what's going on, and they
success.
Nova, you are watching as the Sajetti looks at Rika.
I do not know what you are talking about.
Yes, you do.
I don't understand what that means, Rika.
Only very high-ranking Sajetti are allowed or can afford to have golden tattoos on their skin.
Like a captain?
No. Royal family.
You must be mistaken. I am but a captain. Perhaps it was a trick of the light.
Do not make me rip your armor off.
I would like. You are the first mate of this vessel. I no longer require medical assistance. Thank you.
Are you like royal family? Like, cause like I can move you to a better suite. I'm sorry, sir. And I'm gonna like act all night. I still think this guy is super suspicious, but I'm gonna be like, try to get him on my side.
Your friend must have been mistaken. I have the same body markings that the rest of my family have. You have no...
The wording, though, the rest of my
wording!
family. And is that family the royal family?
Do you say it like that? I hope you do.
I do.
Okay, so this might be a bad idea, but I'm a brute.
Okay.
So I'm going to
You're
actually
tiny.
just step up to him and rip off a piece of armor so we can see his skin.
I see.
You want to manhandle a
for it.
prince?
Okay, so then, would you give me a let's see, you're just gonna rip it off, are you? I see.
Athletics?
Yeah, athletics check. Give me an athletics check.
I don't want to screw this up, so let's put 7 points into that one.
Oh, that's a good
Oh
one.
my god!
Oh, 19!
That beats
11
mine.
on the dice.
Oh, well, I only got to 11. All right, you're 19. You rip off a piece of the chest armor, it was damaged in the attack, and as frantically as he tries,
No, that's... he falls back. And you see the very, very pale skin. Almost... not lime green, but somewhere in that weird space between yellow and green, somewhere there.
Is the captain
Flesh.
talking or you?
sorry, you see this very pale flesh, this lime green pale flesh, with lots of intricate gold tattoos. It looks almost like writing, but there's definitely animals and pictograms and all kinds of things all over the place, and just everywhere. And you can see his wound. Those tattoos are actually where they were split. You can see they've actually spread across each other again and are slowly knitting together the wound, regardless of what the captain actually did or didn't do.
It is unfortunate that you have done this.
Sir, why wouldn't you let us know you were with your fleet? Like, we would have helped you out. We thought you were just a low-ranking captain.
That is for many reasons. If you have something that I might change into, wearing this old battle armor is no longer necessary.
I'll try to find the nicest outfit we have, sir.
Yeah.
You do not
That's
need
a
to
fucking care.
address me as sir. You are not Sejeti. And I am on your ship.
Okay, Captain Zero. If I may still call you that, sir. Captain.
Nova, just go. Get him some
I'm
food.
acting flustered. Nova's just like, you fucker. All right, so I'm going to walk out and I'm going to page Captain like, Captain, we have a situation, sir.
Really?
Like we did it
already! A new one, or is it still the same situation?
It's getting more complicated. Rika has let me know something. She's going to keep an eye on the prisoner. We should meet.
Yeah, that was what I was suggesting. Thank you.
Yeah,
Nova.
I'll meet you in the briefing room. Now.
Yes, ma'am. And I will.
Yellow.
I'm already there.
Yeah, I was about to say, Yellow and the captain are there already.
I guess I'm heading there
As I walk out of the med bay, I will say, Miss Daisy, seal the medical bay.
I shall indeed seal the medical bay. Should I continue to monitor the patient's condition?
Yes, and his actions. And
All
while
right.
you're at it, why don't you pick up the recordings from the Sejeti quarters?
Those recordings are accessible. Should I present them to you now?
No, wait, and you can present them in the conference room.
Understood.
You all rush up to the conference room and find yourselves present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it
So, all right. So this is getting a really complicated situation here, and Nova, I think you have new development that you want to tell us.
Actually, Rika was the one who discovered it, sir.
Might
the
I
Sagetti-
interject for one moment?
Yes.
Should I record this meeting? Should I be present for this meeting? Or is this for living crew members only, Captain?
I think I called everyone on this ship into the meeting, which is including you, Miss Daisy.
That is very kind of you, Captain. Your predecessor, who scored lower than you did on social encounters, by the way, refused to allow the AI to be present during such meetings. I am honored and pleased to be here.
I have no idea why he ever decided to do that. This
He
is
is a
like,
bad captain.
what a bad captain.
Sir, Rika, do
Sorry,
you want
yes.
to bring up what you found?
Sure. Our Sagetti guest is, if not royal family, at least very important. I don't know how familiar you are with Sagetti customs, but only very, very, very important Sagetti are allowed or can afford, I'm not sure, golden tattoos on their skin.
And you're saying we have one, like Captain Zero, like the
Not
Grand
Captain.
Captain. No,
Not
so
Captain.
we have royal family on this ship. Like we have probably the prince of the Sagetti Empire here on the ship.
I don't know how important, just very important.
Which begs to question, why was he on a training exercise?
The
Did
current
they-
count for princes within the Sagetti Empire is 1,212. They have an
Quick que-
extended royal line. I can begin to list them by name if you wish.
No, thank
no,
you.
thank you.
Where is, if he's using it, his name is still Zero? Can you find a zero on the line?
I have already checked. There is no royal under the name Zero. It is traditionally not even a Sagetti name.
Ah,
Yeah.
Didn't
I have
the
another
developer
question.
say that there had someone said that there had to be a high-ranking Sagetti to do something with the battle? I don't remember.
Well, I have a question though that actually Miss Daisy might be able to answer because she's like the smartest machine I've ever met. Do you know if they fire live rounds in their training protocols with the Dorveshian and the Sagetti?
Traditionally, all military vessels are equipped with light versions of their ordnance. This allows the weapons to get a firing solution and to register hits upon one another. Live ammunition is traditionally not used in training exercises, except in the most extreme cases or in several other cultures.
Well,
Hmm.
Captain O, I'm not as smart as you, but what it seems to me is that someone put a rat in the stew on purpose. Someone intentionally loaded live ammo and decided to use it during the training protocol.
Well, you were the one who was escorting the Dorveshian on board, if I remember correctly, because I had to eat your. I mean, I got the pleasure to eat your food and well work it out later.
It was really
did you-
good, wasn't it?
It was well. It knocked me over. It was incredible. Like
Psychology check.
well, it
I'm
did
just
knock me
kidding.
over.
did you already do that? If he didn't like it.
No, I just wanted to be.
And thus began the PvP.
Yeah.
So
Do you
did
like
they?
my food? So
What did you
good.
learn? What did you learn? Did they say anything when you brought them on board? I missed that part.
Well, they said a bunch of stuff. I mean, meaning they went through a bunch of their protocols and that there was probably somebody helping out a Sagetti, that the Saboteur Sagetti on their side. I'm not really too sure. What I was trying to do was an advanced interrogation technique wherein we all got drunk and they told me all their secrets.
And yeah, I kind of went in that. Did it work?
Well, I got to go back there and take 2 slaps and then ask him a couple questions, but that was the intent.
Well, okay, let's do that after this meeting. I think
Captain,
there's
per Nova's request, I do have recordings of all the conversations that have participated on the ship.
That was Rika.
My request.
My
I
apologies.
requested it in break.
Well, then in that case, could you run a recap of the conversation between the Dwarveshians when they came on board the ship?
Dwarveshians or the Sajeti? Because
No,
they were the one.
I want to start with the Dwarveshians, and then we are going to look at the recordings of the Sajeti room.
So, initially, Miss Daisy starts running the recordings from the moment they are in the trance print room. And they real time. So for 7 minutes, it's just silence. Should I skip to dialogue specifically?
Yes, please. Well, Miss Daisy, if you could do a summary of the conversation. If we don't want to hear through all the conversations, we just want to have a recap.
Are you sure, Captain? Because then if you could miss subtle hints at something, like he tried bluffing earlier today where he said, I have the same tattoos as the rest of my family. Something like that, you know, it could be subtle.
Well, okay, if you prefer, we can then hear through the full protocol, but I think that might take some time.
Well, how long have we been here? It's only been, what, half an hour?
Yeah, it plays through. I mean, the dwarves didn't speak very much, and Daisy's quite good at sort of skipping just great big leaps, and it almost becomes quite a fun game to work out where they are on the ship by the sound of the background noise. As suddenly it's, oh, they're at the medical bay. Okay,
Yeah,
now
I hit Rika.
why did you take them into the cargo hold? What are they doing in the cargo hold as they're talking?
We can
And
hear him
Who's
doing his
admonishing me?
speech.
Sorry, I need to know who's admonishing
no,
me.
no one.
You can hear your sales pitch. You're like, we're never using his sales pitch again.
Never ever buying from these people.
Until eventually you get to the part where Yellow asks what happened. Well, we're just wee techies, so we don't really know exactly what was going on, but we were working on the deck, and the next minute there was just a great big hole in the side of the ship, and the whole command was just gone. It just absolutely gone. And then that Sajeti ship started firing with everything that she had. It was absolute chaos, but like I said, we weren't really there to see exactly what was going on. We were in the lower parts of the ship whilst the firing was occurring.
As I said,
Oh, he said he was on the deck, and then he switched it to we were in the lower part of the ship. The deck's on the top, isn't it?
Many decks in a ship.
yeah, no, he was talking how like there was someone sabotaged the dwarven ship before they even opened fire, which is what Yellow surmised very, very in one sentence.
So I think if we're looking at a line of actions or a timeline here, before the Sajeti started firing, the Dwarveshian ship already got damaged, which means that there might be a saboteur on the Dwarveshian ship as well.
So there's 2 of them working together, 2 rats in the pot, as I was saying.
Or a third party trying to bring both parties against each other. Well,
Who would benefit from the trade route and a war between the 2 empires? Who would take up the trade between the 2 people? There has to be, if there's I don't understand why they would start a war without someone benefiting.
Anybody can give me either a culture check or a history check. Or even a logic check for that matter. Just tell me which one you went for.
Logic.
Logic.
Yeah,
okay, you got a 6.
History 9.
logic.
History 9. Logic.
I got
Captain?
culture for 10.
Culture for 10.
Logic 10.
Logic 10. All right. The history roll was what? Sorry, Tobias?
9.
9. Traditionally, the Szigeti Empire and the Dwarvashian forces, if one refers to the map, the Dwarvashian Protectorate, they do have a very large adjoining border which spans throughout the second ring, or the second circle of the quadrant. And as far as history is concerned, yes, there have been 3 major wars in the last 1,000 years, where the Dwarvash invaded the Szigeti, then the Szigeti invaded the Dwarvash. Both times the wars came to an end, effectively drawing up the border between the planet of Gragan and Kasakam Dios. The last war was about 400 years ago and didn't involve that particular border. What had happened was that the Chunun territories had basically gone into civil war, and the Szigeti and Dwarvashians were hired by the Chun to fight on both sides. And it was considered a battle, but that was about it. That's the historical perspective. Otherwise, they've had great trade. The Dwarvashian Protectorate is considered to be a good supplier and manufacturer of solid goods that don't break. The Szigeti are master artisans and make beautiful things. From a cultural perspective, there has not been a huge amount of tension between the two. Both are suit-wearing aliens when in public, so there is a certain amount of commonality there. Who would gain from either of these two being at war? Immediately around Kasakaman and Gragan, no one in particular. The Brunei Federation arguably would not gain any value because they're not going to extend south. There's a large void between the lowest of the Brunei territories and Gragan. So they would have to extend quite a ways to capitalize upon any sort of action there. The Chunigan could possibly move north if they wanted to expand, but they're a ragtag bunch of petty criminals and mercenaries. They've never really been organized into anything of any significance. Yeah, that's kind of the worst it can get. The Dwarvash people are sometimes referred to as lobsters because they do not give up. Once they've got their sort of claws onto something, they do not give up. So they don't give up grudges very easily. And the Szigeti are a deeply mystical and incredibly proud and arrogant people. And so if you slight them, they will slight you. One of their favorite sayings is, "I am in your debt for 1,000 generations," which in Szigeti is 10,000 years. So they don't give up on grudges either. Not for a very long time. Logically, a war there makes sense. It's where the two empires are closest. If you wanted to start a war and you were invading the Dwarvash Protectorate, taking Gragan would be a fantastic first step. It opens up several other territories and is an easy point into their capital. If you are the Dwarvash and you're invading the Szigeti Empire, you have the problem that everybody has when invading the Szigeti Empire, is that it doesn't matter what planet you take, you are still a very long way away from their capital, because their capital is a very long way away from everywhere else. They are the largest major superpower whose capital is just on the inside of the outer ring. They are as far away from Galactic Central Point as you can almost get. So if you were Dwarvashian invading the Szigeti, it would be easier to invade the Brunei than it would be to invade the Szigeti from a logic perspective. So that's what you get from that sort of analysis.
Is Captain, do you think that, or Nova, you might know this better, having spent time with our new Prince friend. Do you think that he is ideologically motivated to do these things? And if so, how would he be able to reach out across and talk to other Dorveshians to help? Where is the connection here that we're missing?
If I may, we have a very important crew member that might hold additional information. Miss Daisy, could you play the video of the Sajet room for us?
Playing now. The video flickers on. I have moved it forward to a time index that approximates when the events would have occurred that resulted in the death of the two Sajetti members. If you wish to view earlier than this, simply inform me.
Yeah, let's start a few minutes earlier.
It scrubs back a little bit, and then watching on your communal view screen, you see as the three of them are sitting quietly. Then one of them stands up, and you can see very clearly draws a blade from their leg armor. And they all wear the same armor, so it's difficult to differentiate who is who. But you think that that is Zero himself drawing the blade. He then turns to the other two and hands the blade to one of the other two. All of them stand up. The one who was given the blade slashes and hacks into the third one, completely gutting them and leaving them in the position that they're in. Then hands the blade to, you think is Zero. Zero then slashes this one onto the bed, then steps over to the table and impales the blade through his own side before collapsing over onto the table side.
Do we know, like, should we do a roll on that? But do we know from the traditions, the war traditions of the Sajetti, if that is common under people who might lose or might be taken as hostages or prisoners?
You can give me a culture check or a xenobiology check with +5.
Oh, wow, with +5. That's 16 then.
Yeah, I have a 4.
We Seasians keep track of the rest of the universe.
So the Sajetti are not known for this kind of ritual suicide. The Athenians definitely do it, but not the Sajetti. The Sajetti, a commander might look at you and think that you have insulted him and order your death. But this kind of thing, it's... And the way in which the first one was killed, it really was savage. It didn't look like there was any honorable death here.
And the guy just let it. The individual, the victim.
No resistance. Yeah.
But they do have that loyalty that if someone who is above you on the societal or military ladder orders you to do something, you do it without question, right?
Yes, especially if it's royalty, because royalty is considered deity.
Yeah.
So Rika tells us all of that, and we would be like, or I would be like, well, that doesn't look like the traditional, well, we lost, we take suicide. This looks like this is probably kind of special forces who are prepared for something like that. I'm getting really bad feeling about this. Like this might be getting over our heads here.
So then my question to you, Captain, is what do we do now? We can return the Dwarvish to their people and let them know what's happening within the Sajetti Empire. We could turn the Sajetti over to them because they wronged them. We then also, in theory, could head towards the Sajetti and replay what we just had and say, this is your saboteur, make amends to the Dwarvish Empire. And if they don't, then we know that they were planning this all along,
do not know.
Or we could do the third option and head towards the Brennian Empire and go to the ambassadors there. This is way above what we're here.
There is a fourth option, and just to be precise, we could just space them. But
I like that idea.
But to be fair, the Dwarvish...
No. I wasn't really suggesting that we take this action. But,
okay. I mean,
yeah, well, not at least not now.
Right.
to make my case, what we have is we have a Sagetti who was claiming to be a captain, turned out to be a royal, claiming that he was attacked by an assassin, turned out to be he is the assassin. We have a Sagetti claiming that the Dwarvish attacked when it looks like the Sagetti attacked first.
Well,
and
Captain,
we have
actually,
yes,
there was an explosion before, so it didn't look like the Sagetti even attacked. It looked like someone on the Dwarvish ship sabotaged it, and then the Sagetti attacked.
But as you pointed out, Yellow, which was really smart,
Right.
was that someone has loaded live ammo into the Sagetti cannons.
Right.
So this was a prepped thing, and everything that we see right now points at a really shady Sagetti prints on our boat, on
Not
our ship
shady,
here.
golden.
Yes. Well, okay. Thank you.
Is this
any
a conspiracy?
Languages are hard.
Is this a conspiracy, guys? Because if
That
it is,
sounds.
I've never been part of one, and I think that this is a great opportunity for the Yellow King to learn some things.
I take a pen and I knight him into conspiracy.
You too?
I take a pen like
I kneel for sure.
I look at you guys. I was like I was gonna do it as a joke, and I'm like, oh fuck. I hereby dub this your very first conspiracy. Welcome aboard. May the odds not kill you.
I have been conspiracized, he says, standing up.
Elvis is alive.
And I would just on my armor. I have a sticker, something that I stick upon. I would just peel it off and stick it onto. Yeah, I do stickers on my armor. And I just peel it off and stick it onto your bodysuit, and I'm like, "Welcome to the conspiracy."
Great.
Oh my god!
Now, do you want me to interrogate those Dwarvishians some more, or?
That is
Well,
unlikely to be an option.
Is this a human thing?
Oh, right.
They
Why
are
It's not an
currently
option. Did they just kill themselves?
they are unconscious. I believe they are inebriated at the maximum level for their tolerances.
Mm, mm.
Well,
you have to wait a little bit on those two slaps then. I think we have to make up our minds here. Nova, what's your point on that? You're my first officer here, and I would like to hear what you think.
I think this is above our right to make a decision on which way we go and how we handle prisoners of war. I feel this is something we should do with the ambassadors of the Brennian Empire, give them all the information we have and turn them over to the embassy. We're beholden to them, and that would absolve us from any wrath from either side. And we can continue to do business.
Okay, can you if you would do the navigations, could you track a course and find out how long it would take us to get there? Because I feel like this might be something where we don't have a lot of time. They would get really nervous if we keep them here on the ship. This is the situation.
And I could probably hail the Empire to let us know what's happening. We need a council with the embassy.
How about you try that? Yellow, what's your opinion on that?
I think we should dig right into this whatever this is, and we're going to find out who did it. I think it was the prince. But well, it seems like it's both sides. And if it's both sides, that means they could have operators, as they call them in the business, all over the galactic empires. And so if we don't do anything, they could cause wars all over the galaxy. And then, oh my golly, Brennian would be in trouble.
You're so smart, Yellow. High five.
You are, but Yellow, wouldn't that mean that they might have operators in this crew?
Captain, what have you done?
He just kind of gives you like the, he's not stupid.
Nova's just like,
no, you
don't.
None of you guys would betray me. I know that for a fact.
No,
no reason kidding. Why I have to carry this gun around.
Rika, what's your opinion on that? What do you think we should do?
It's irrelevant. You saved my life. You tell me to go somewhere, I go somewhere. You tell me the sky blue, the sky blue.
Okay, since we're doing a democracy here now. Miss Daisy, what's your opinion on the situation?
Calculating. Given the parameters of your objective to deliver cargo for Tajaval to Casacanum Dios, I working.
CPU utilization 100%.
Do you see
Flashing.
that pinwheel there? That means she's thinking. Don't worry,
Yeah,
she comes
I
out of it
think
after an hour or two.
I'm doing Control Alt Delete to see if the task manager shows me the.
Captain,
The
I
CPU
believe
meter
it would
just
be the imperative in this particular situation that you have all authority. Currently, within the jurisdictions of all of the signed treaties to the General Space Act, you are in neutral territory. This provides you with complete and total authority over whatever occurs aboard this vessel. Once you have passed into territory, however, that belongs to a particular sovereignty, you are then beholden to their laws. If we were within Dwarvashian space, it would be your responsibility to hand over the Sajeti traitor to the Dwarvashian authorities. If you were within Sajeti space, this would be equally true. Once you pass into Brenyai territory, unless you report the incident or it has been reported to them already, there is very little that needs to be done from a legal perspective. There are several incidences where captains have not reported rather significant galactic changing events that the captains have usually never been seen from again. However, that is usually owing to alternative causes of death. I can list those causes if you would prefer, Captain. However, there are extensive visual supporting aids which may upset sensitive viewers.
Thank you, Miss Daisy. We might need to rethink this democratic thing.
Regarding your question as to how long it would take you to travel to the nearest Brianese territory, the usual travel time would be 6 hours.
Dwarvashian space, how close is that one?
6 hours.
Oh, great. And Sajeti space?
6 hours. We did plot a course to be as far away from all of our possible enemies as possible, Captain.
And you all did a great job on that. So we have, to sum this up, Nova is voting for a Brennian space. Yellow is going for conspiracy full uncover. I think, Rika, you highly recommended not to get too close to the Sajeti, though, but you will follow wherever we go.
Yes.
And
the reason I want to avoid the Sajeti is because if we expose one of their royals as a traitor, even if it's true, we will be punished.
They shoot the messenger.
Yes.
yeah, and
That is the Sajeti way.
Miss Daisy very successfully avoided any decision on that and just put everything on my shoulders. So again, I have the feeling that the Sajeti are really shady in this, and I also feel inclined to investigate or at least help to uncover whatever was happening there. So I would say we plot a course for the Dwarvashian Empire. Let's hand over our Princey boy here and see what comes from that.
Make sure to erase any Sajeti vacation locations from your future list of places to travel.
I have the feeling
Be
that
allowed back
whatever we
there.
do, I have the feeling that whatever we do, we will have to, because if we go into Sajeti space and this was a Sajeti conspiracy, we know too much. If we go to Brennian, same thing. We might not even get there. If we have 3 Dwarvashians, although currently rather intoxicated, on board, if we align with them, we have a little bit more of a chance of survival here.
My question to you, Captain, then is if they have our information and we turn over their person to the Dwarvish Empire, we would make enemies with the Sajet. Now, if he is an extremist, we would still be disobeying direct orders to them and make an enemy. But we also did ask him would it be all right to drop him off at Brenyan territory? And he agreed. That would absolve us so we can continue doing business because our cargo is actually supposed to be due in the Sajet Empire, correct? So then we couldn't do the run if we go and do everything in the Dwavish territories.
Well, I get you. I know where you're going. I have the feeling though that you're building your case upon the fact that he would be true to his word, and that he would live us through this. If that is a conspiracy, if that is something that we shouldn't have been aware of, then why do you take his word for letting us go?
I'm not saying that he would, but if we go to the Brenyans, then it would absolve us, wouldn't it? They wouldn't be shooting the messengers because we were not the messengers. We did exactly what he said, dropped them off in the Brenyan territory and let them deal with it.
We still know.
Do we have any friends that might have some more information for us?
Possibly.
Maybe ones that might be able to tell us a little bit more about this conspiracy.
Yeah, no, I don't, but I think probably one of you have better contacts.
I have a good friend.
Is it your god?
No.
It's his king.
Insight check.
I have no
I know about the
friends.
Yellow King. 10.
Well, that's
Miss
not
Daisy,
true, Miss Daisy.
You and I are both friends. I'm making your body out of cardboard as we speak.
I apologize. I should have said I have no friends outside of this vessel.
Very good.
10 for insight check for your yellow thing.
No, this guy's not the yellow.
Not the yellow god. Captain, oh Captain, since the world has been placed upon your shoulders, would you please roll me a luck check?
Can I say no
Why
to
do you
that?
make me roll?
5.
See? I told you.
Nova, you asked me to inform you if there was a change in the space around us. There has been a
Yes.
change in the space around us. Brenny's cruiser and several support frigates have just dropped out of drive.
Did you say Benjamin?
That is
Brenyan,
correct.
yes.
They do not appear to be scanning us, nor do they appear to be taking up a defensive or an aggressive position. They simply seem to be in stationary orbit, as far away from both the Sajetti and the Dwarvashian ships as possible.
Which is on top of us.
That is correct. Or more precisely, several 100,000 kilometers away from us, but in galactic terms, on top of us.
Like I said.
Captain, do we want to? That's weird that they're out here. Do you think they're part of the conspiracy?
I think they're probably trying to figure out what the hell is happening between the two empires before it got back to them.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
I think we're super screwed either way, sir.
Orders to the home.
Nova, would you please give me a luck check?
Oh no. That is 9.
Nova, you requested to be informed the moment the Sajetti prisoner changed his activities within the medical bay.
Yes.
He appears to be attempting to tamper with the door.
Oh.
That I
Captain!
think. Hey, Captain. Actually, I think the Brennies are his ride. They are part of the conspiracy.
Well,
Already
so first of all,
just-
let's deal with everything in order.
Rika's already on her way out the door.
Yeah,
but
me too, with-
Move slow enough to hear what the
Same.
captain is saying.
Same.
Miss Daisy, from he took his armor off, didn't he? I'm sorry, that was
No.
not a question to Miss Daisy. That is a question.
I took
to
his armor off.
Rika did.
part of it, but he's still wearing a mask.
Correct.
Do we know that is he breathing our air or is he just breathing through the mask?
As far as everybody knows in common knowledge, Sajetti do breathe the same air as humans.
Okay, in that case, I would be like, Miss Daisy, could you reduce the oxygen level in the med bay to a degree where he loses consciousness, please?
I will comply, Captain. However, I should inform you there is a slight risk to brain damage if the individual does not restore oxygen to the regular levels.
Yeah, as I said, baby steps. We're starting with that until Rika is down there, and he might be a little less, well, conflict driven if we want to tie him to a bed, and then we can raise the oxygen level again.
I have reduced the oxygen level. You will be pleased to be informed the Sagetti is writhing on the floor, gasping for breath.
Perfect.
My suit will keep me safe for 15 minutes. I'll be fine.
Also, I think the second you open the door, there will be air sucking in. So, but I
Yeah,
want
I
Details.
sedate-
details. Well, Rika,
Wait,
would
can we
you?
transpod Rika into there?
You would need
No.
to have a transprinter inside the med bay.
Oh.
Can
No, I
we
will run down there.
transprint a
Wrench in
transprinter?
hand.
No. Rika, would you please take care of the situation? And Yellow, would you please follow and assist Rika? I want our guest Prince to be secured, alive, please, and secured and bound to something where he cannot move and do things that are unexpected.
Sedate
Alive?
him.
Yes, please, alive would be
I think that was the
preferable.
first thing he said. Or, I think he said keep him alive, but tie him up. It's good. Do you know any knots that I don't know?
Captain, what do you want me to do? Do we want to hail the Brenians? Do we want to get out of here and get Dwarvish face? Like, what do you want?
I think we should hail them. I think we should at least try to figure out what they're doing here. I will take care of that. I would ask you though to prep for a fast dive
Towards the Dwarvish or towards Brenian?
towards the Dwarvish. Because if the Brennian turn out to be shady as well, that the Dwarvish are the Dwarvashian are the only last place to go, I fear.
Oh God, this is getting hard. Okay, I can do that, sir.
Awesome. Miss Daisy, could you open a channel to the Brennian ships, please?
The channel is open.
This is Captain Ohu from the Miss Daisy transporting freighter. We are passing neutral space here and requesting information about the Brennian transporters. Who am I talking to?
There's a moment delay, and then the response. This is Admiral Garn of the UFS Vigilance. State your purpose for being in this territory.
Well, we are on a trade route, and we got in some unfortunate situation where a lot of ships were firing upon each other and upon us, and we tried our best to get away here. Are you here to investigate?
Would you be averse to us scanning your vessel, Captain?
Wait, sorry, I didn't read the last part. We have some disturbances here. And I would be turning off quickly the thing, and I will be shit. Miss Daisy, can we cloak our Dwarvashian or can we cloak our guests? Can we protect them from being scanned? Can we fake the results somehow?
There are several options that perhaps several of the crew members might be aware of, Captain.
I might
However,
be able to do that. I have
Perfect.
a skill that will
Perfect.
interrupt
Yellow.
scanning.
Yellow, this is it. This is your chance. This is the one thing I need from you today. Apart from chili cooked food that is really delicious.
What the captain is saying, put all your points into this.
I should
This is
also
don't
point
want-
out,
time.
Yes.
Captain, there was no interference on the communication signal. We had full bandwidth.
Yeah, I know that. Thank you. I was trying to get a few minutes talking to you. Thank you. I will be like, sorry, can you come again? What was we had some issue. I think one of our relays got fired upon, and we have problems here.
If you are in duress, we will dispatch a repair crew to assist you. You say you came directly from the battle that is taking place near Gragen.
Yes, yes. It's fine. I think we can make it. That's absolutely fine. What was the last part you were asked? You were requesting something like a scam? Are you trying to scam us?
We request a scan of your vessel. It
Oh, a
is purely a
scan.
procedural matter to ensure.
No,
that-
no, no. That's absolutely fine. Sure, sure, sure. Scan away, man. Admiral, sorry. Scan away.
Hello!
I'm gonna scuttle if I can, like, kind of not
Yeah.
jam them per se, but I'm gonna like try to make it so this is gonna get real complicated. I'm gonna dump like 1,000,000 points into this, but I know that I normally jam, and that makes them like we just go dark, and
Right.
that will give us away that we're messing with them. I want to do it subtly enough that when they scan, they'll get like 99% of the information.
It is possible, but you will require the assistance of at least 2 other crew members to do it. Because what you need to effectively do is you're going to be shunting power around the ship. Almost imagine like the ship is half filled with water. You're going to be gently rocking that water like a pinball all the way around the ship, so it looks like you're having intermittent power failures and power spikes to mask the biosignatures of the people aboard. So you need 2 other people to assist you in doing this.
Okay, so I'm gonna contact Rika. I'm gonna need your big brain time smart stuff in order to help me. And I explain the kind of fluctuations of energy in very yellow way. And then I go, Miss Daisy, you're my second best friend. No, yeah, second best friend still. We're working on it. And I need your help to change some power fluctuations around. Do you think you can do that?
I will comply.
I will do what I can.
Okay.
But I must also deal with Golden Boy.
What are you doing whilst this is happening, Nova?
I'm plotting a course for Dwarvish Empire.
Where exactly? Are you trying to get back to the battle scene? Are you heading to the
No.
actual planet of Gragen?
So can I get the map, please?
Sure thing. I will give you the map, and I will give you a close-up of Dwarvashian territory. We will
Where's
get
their-
those.
Do they
Sorry?
have like embassies?
Brunei embassies?
Like, or not necessarily, just like ambassadors of peace or ambassadors for the people, like that are accessible to low level people.
Well, there are.
Like a mayor.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were to head towards Gragen or any of these smaller planets around Gragen, because Gragen is the capital for that sector. So that's what's on the map at the moment. But there are hundreds of worlds around that you could head to. And when you arrived at the spaceport, you could ask to speak to someone who's an authority, as you have political refugees. And that would probably get you to speaking to some bureaucrat in an office somewhere whose job it is to deal with political refugees.
Yeah. Okay. We'll head towards Gragen, and if there seems to be any problems or fighting in Gragen, we're gonna go over towards Bragnetier.
Very well. Branag Tire?
Yes. So I'll plot 2 courses.
All right.
So it'll be from point A to point B, and then point B to point C if there's a problem.
Gotcha.
I'd rather be at point D, which is the local bar. But that's just me.
That's on Kirlochan.
There we go. Okay, and
That's
Captain, whilst everybody else is trying to make your ship not look like it, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I assume I will be on the comms, and I will just try to keep the Admiral busy.
You're going to try and keep the Admiral busy. Okay.
Yeah, I will be like, well, on the last trade route, we were really interesting stuff that happened. And by the way, they were shooting all at us. Oh my God, we are so that would be me on the call.
Okay. Right. So, in that case, then, I would require from one of the 3 individuals attempting to mask this ship, I would require an engineering check, please.
That would be me then.
Very good.
Crush that.
And I'm gonna put 9 points into this.
Okay.
And that's a 10. So that's 19 plus 3, 22 on engineering.
Okay. You start to play around with the power.
Yeah.
Then I will need from either Yellow or from the AI. It's entirely up to you. I will need a... You know what? I'm going to need a stealth check.
Okay, Miss Daisy's about as subtle as a shotgun, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
go for this.
All right.
And
I'm gonna
you're
put-
subtler? Okay, sure.
Yeah, I am than an AI.
Okay,
9.
fair.
I'm gonna put 9 points into this as well.
Okay.
7 or 1?
10.
You don't have
Okay.
stealth, I take it.
I definitely don't.
You like just shunt it all over and then shunt it all back. It's just shunt stuff. I mean, that's all we need
do
to
you know
do.
like the bathtub? Like where you like run into one side and the water goes up. That's pretty much what Yellow's doing, and he thinks it's hilarious. And then he forgets what he's doing. Exactly.
Daisy is going to do logic. There's a huge amount of calculations that are required for this. This is not Daisy's choice because Daisy does not have this kind of autonomy. Will you put any points from the ship into it?
Yes.
If so, from where and how many?
I will put points from... We're not going to need them right now. I'm going to dump... I can only dump from one pool at a time, right?
Yes.
And if I choose from another, it's going to be double cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I'm going to put 9 and 6. So that's 12 points from the sensors into this.
From the sensors. All right. And here we go. You put 12. So that's 24. That is 24. Okay.
Good work, Miss Daisy. Overload.
Yeah.
It's been overclocked.
Nova,
Thank you
you
so
are
much.
trying to plot a course. I need you to give me a quantum streams check because Daisy suddenly just becomes really sluggish. And the calculation time for the jump goes 1 minute. Suddenly it extends to 12 minutes. Then it suddenly extends to 13 years. And then suddenly it extends to 99 years. And the bar doesn't seem to be moving.
Take out my map and I take out my little compass.
You have a compass for this? Wow, that's some math. Holy crap.
Oh, come on.
Back to
It's the same
She's
thing
a
as we say you're a
dumb.
tablet, but it's not a stone tablet.
I am my own calculator.
What are those called? The thingies?
Sextant.
Sextant, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sextant.
Except it has like
look at
angle
that.
of the Earth, angle of the galactic sphere.
Based on that. Okay, right. Give me a quantum
I'm sure
streams
there's
check.
someone figured out. Yeah, I'm going to dump 6 spiritual into this.
Good time for a prayer.
Good time for prayer.
Oh god, that's where's my quantum streams? 2, that's 3, plus 6 is 9.
9? Okay, okay. You plot to one of the two destinations. Which one do you want to plot to?
First one.
To
Gragas, the
Great.
closest.
All right. There you
Very
go.
good.
There you go. Captain, I need you to please give me either a seduction
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
because you are trying to engage this person or a performance check to keep the Admiral from initiating the scan long enough for your team to be able to actually achieve it.
Come on, Silver Fox. Do it.
Yeah.
Fan,
Well,
Come
I
on,
think
Captain. We
I
believe in
will-
you.
I will put. Well, yeah. Let's put 6 mental into this. I'm trying to be clever about this.
Put some physical into it too. Mm.
Jesus.
Well, that was on a 1 and then dropped back to a 6. What did I say? 6
Yeah.
and 6, right? I said 6 points. Okay, so 12.
12.
Sorry, seduction or which one was it? I need to
Oh,
know.
yeah. No. Yeah. What was the
Performance
other
or
one?
seduction?
Performance or seduction?
Yeah,
Just start
I'm not.
walking around lighting
Was it a?
candles.
So
Is it me or is it hot in here whilst I'm giving you my report? Yeah.
yeah, why not? I'm desperate. I'm trying to seduce
All right. All
You're
right.
desperate.
All right.
Take you to
Oh,
my
if
quarters.
Yellow can seduce an
Through
AI,
through
you
the
can do an
holo
admiral.
projection, I would be like,
Kind of flexing every now and again.
Oh my god.
Well, as you're shunting power around, eventually the Admiral says, I look forward to your debriefing then, Captain Ohu. You sound like truly a remarkable individual.
me too.
Debriefing, eh?
That was
That happens. You've got your quantum drive check. You finish shunting your power around. The scan initiates as best you can see it, because your entire dash lights up with the warning that you are being scanned, and it's a deep scan by the ship. And you watch as the scan crosses slowly over the length of your ship. You're busy moving your power around as best as you possibly can. We'll be back next week to find out what happens. Thanks for
Oh.
playing, everybody.
you monster.
It's not me, it's the time! It's the
You're a
time!
monster.
Sure, yeah.
You are a monster.
The GM has
I want,
no
like, a
influence on where we
montage.
are. Nope.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Conspiracy. He's part of the conspiracy. I knew it.
Yeah.
I just love the debriefing.
Yeah, that's good choice of words.
Well, be back next week
Well,
when
I
I
never get
smash
to get
an
that.
elf in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. But when everyone realizes, hey, this took us like 10 minutes. How long can a jet survive without oxygen? But anyway, we'll find out
He's
next
fine.
week. Yeah, he should be fine. All right, folks. Thank you guys for playing. Hope you had fun. Thank you for watching. And yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back next week. Stay happy and safe. Goodbye.